Welcome to Practicing Melodic Jazz Improvisation. My name is Kane, and I'm the author of the book Constructing Melodic Jazz Improvisation. In this series of lessons, I'm going to lay the basic groundwork for beginning and intermediate level improvisers and help them expand their creative and melodic approaches to soloing. I spend a lot of time with beginning and intermediate level jazz improvisers, and I found it really beneficial to approach beginning to learn jazz as a literal language with basic vocabulary, and it can make it really fun. Just a quick reminder, these lessons are sequential, they'll build off each other, so make sure you listen to the first one before you progress to the second one. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about the basic language of jazz. So if jazz improvisation is a language, what are some of the basic rules for grammar and structure that will help improvisers improve their solos? All of this, and all the examples that I will give, will occur over a 12-bar blues, and I'll be demonstrating everything using a blues scale. Though remember, it works over any style, any form, and any kind of harmony. Improvisation is like telling a story, so we use the exact same techniques that we would if we were going to tell a story. So the first easy technique in jazz improvisation is, how do you ask a question? Questions use a vocal inflection that rises. You'd ask a question like, what time is it? And your voice would go up. You wouldn't use a vocal inflection that goes down. You wouldn't say, what time is it? Jazz improvisation is the same way. If I play a series of notes that ascends, it's going to sound like a question. And if you heard that, what time is it? It went up. Similarly, answers move down. If we give an answer to a question, I don't know, sounds the wrong way, the inflection has to descend. I don't know. And the same is true in jazz improvisation. So we could ask a question, what time is it? And give an answer that says, I don't know. The point of this technique in improvisation is to try to create a conversational feel within a solo. Using questions and answers can give the improviser something fun to think about and can make a solo really easy to connect to for a listener. So I'm going to give a quick demonstration of this, and in order to do that, I'm going to go back and we're going to listen again to the solo that we did in lesson 1. A very simple solo that used 1 bar phrasing followed by a bar rest. But this time I want you to listen closely and notice that it does a little bit more. It also uses questions and answers. The first phrase will ascend, the second phrase will descend. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's a decent solo. That was an example of 1 bar phrasing, question and answers. You should practice that. You should spend some time getting good at controlling the end of your phrases and adding intent to it. If you find that's easy, you should continue on to 2 bar phrasing. Try 2 bar phrasing, questions and answers, and see how that works for you. But for our next project, we're going to expand our phrasing a little bit into 3 bar phrasing. 3 bar phrasings I call statements. I find it more difficult to hear whether something is a question or an answer once the phrase extends beyond 2 measures. So they can go up, they can go down. It doesn't really matter. It's really about the phrase being longer in length. In this next example solo, you're going to hear a good friend of mine, Jeff Galindo, on trombone, and he's going to play 1 chorus of blues using 3 bar statements. These 3 bar statements are going to be followed by basically a measure of rest. I prefer 3 bar phrasing to 4 bar phrasing because 4 bar phrasing is predictable. It's easy for the audience to hear. 3 bar phrasing allows improvisers, or rather makes improvisers, stop just a little before they normally would. This is a great solo. It's going to work pretty well at an up-tempo blues. Here's Jeff Galindo playing some 3 bar phrasing. So that was Jeff Galindo really tearing it up on an up-tempo 12-bar blues with a 3-bar statement phrasing. You should practice that. You should get good at it. You should practice playing 1-bar phrases with questions and answers, 2-bar phrases with questions and answers, and 3-bar statements throughout a blues form, so you can both master location and form and add intent to your soloing. So that's going to conclude this lesson for today. I hope you practice this stuff and join me for the next lesson. I hope you'll consider checking out my book, Constructing Melodic Jazz Improvisation. It's available wherever music books are sold or online, and it would help me out if more people bought it. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I hope to see you again next time. Till then, enjoy the playing.